Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah and this is Jar of Fireflies. Here I make videos all about my life as an Orthodox Jewish homeschooling mother of 4. And today we're going to be meal prepping for the week. Okay, first off, I want to start by saying that this video is sponsored by Thrive Market, and more on that in a few minutes. Okay, I mentioned a couple of weeks ago about doing some meal prep because I am really struggling to get dinner on the table in the evening. It's just, I'm so tired by the end of the day, like I don't want to deal with it. I'm also like, we're so busy, and then having a toddler running around makes it nearly impossible to do anything. It's just hard. So I've been working on ways to make a lot of things in my life a little bit more streamlined and a little bit easier. And I think I've got this meal thing down pretty well. Okay. All right, so like I said, I mentioned a few weeks ago that I kind of started this whole meal plan thing. What I did is I sat down and I came up with some meals that at least most of my family likes. Like, it's really hard to get everybody to like one thing, but there are a few meals that are definitely hits with the whole family. And other times there just may be someone who doesn't love a meal as much as everybody else. And that is also part of life when you live in a big family. Okay. So this is basically what I came up with. I made this sheet, I laminated it, I put it on the fridge. Okay, let me explain what this is. So up here at the top, I have 3 recipes, and these are recipes that I will meal prep on Sunday for the rest of the week. This section here is a meal plan for the week. And then down here at the bottom is a grocery list for the 3 different grocery stores that I need to get all these ingredients from. This doesn't mean that I have to go to each of these grocery stores every week, but it does mean that these are the places that I prefer to get those particular items. But I can always get these items at different grocery stores. I also will tack things onto my Thrive Market order when I'm putting that together, which I do about once a month. It's just, in general, these are stores that we go out and about to. So like if Mr. Firefly is like, hey, I'm going to Trader Joe's, what do you need? I can look at this list, look in the pantry and the fridge and say, oh, can you get this and this for me? Those are things I need to make meals on Sunday. It just makes it easier and gives me less to think about. And I'm not sitting there on meal prep day going, wait, I don't have all my ingredients. Okay, so there's really 4 meals that I will prepare today. So one is a pizza crust. I'll make gluten-free pizza crust in advance. And that way I can just pull the crust out, it's done, and I can just throw on the sauce and cheese and toppings, put it in the oven, and we have a quick and easy meal one night. And then I make chili, lasagna, and bolognese. Now, sometimes I do switch this up. I'm not making the bolognese sauce or the lasagna this week. Instead, I am making a baked spaghetti. It is National Spaghetti Day later this week, so I wanted to do that. I am making the chili, I am making the pizza crust. And then switching it up just a little bit this week, I am also making a Santa Fe chicken crock pot meal. So I will prepare everything to go into the crock pot and just put that in a Ziploc bag in the fridge so that I can put that in the crock pot tomorrow morning. And I don't have to even open a can of anything or chop anything, like it's just done. Okay, as far as eating these same meals every week, couple of things that I do to kind of spice that up. So one is I'll serve something a different way. So like last week we had chili on top of corn chips. This week we're having chili again, but I'm going to serve it on top of either hot dogs or on top of French fries. So one of those 2 ways. So that's just like a way to kind of switch up the same meal. Also, as you saw, we are swapping out and making the baked spaghetti this week and the Santa Fe chicken. So there are just kind of other meals that I know that are pretty easy that I can switch it up with in there as well. And I may just make a second sheet or something, I don't know, some kind of a system where I have all of these easy meals ready to go so I can sit down at the beginning of the week and say, okay, I'm gonna be making these. I don't know. I don't really love to switch it up though, because I really like to have my meals set because then everything is done. But I have these ingredients that I wanna use up anyways. That's why I switched it up today. Okay, as far as the meal plan for the week goes, so for breakfast, every day I just have cereal, milk, scrambled eggs, toast. So the kids can just choose which of those items they want. They can make their own toast, they can make their own scrambled eggs, they can get their own bowl of cereal ready. I'm off the hook for all of that. Okay, for lunch. On Sunday, quesadillas. On Monday, macaroni and cheese. On Tuesday, like what I call snack boxes, which usually includes like sandwich, cheese, hard-boiled eggs, cookies, crackers, fruit. kind of that sort of thing that's in like our bento lunch boxes. And then on Wednesday is my designated leftovers day, because inevitably there are leftovers, and it's like, who wants the leftover baked spaghetti? Who wants the leftover chili? Who wants this? And like everybody's just like, oh, I want that one, I want that one, and they can pick their favorite. And then on Thursday, we do another snack box lunch. Now, again, this isn't just like throwing a bunch of crackers and cookies in a bag, like it is a thought out lunch with sandwiches and stuff like that, but we just call it snack boxes. Okay, anyways, then for dinner, so Sunday night, tonight is chili, tomorrow is lasagna, Tuesday bolognese, Wednesday pizza, and Thursday we're doing breakfast for dinner. Okay, I did specifically set up Thursday as breakfast for dinner because A, it's a super easy meal to prepare, and then B, if we for some reason have leftovers, like excessive leftovers, we can have those for dinner that night. And also if something happened during the week where we end up not eating one of the pre-prepared meals because we went to an event, we got invited out, we I don't know, whatever, like an emergency, I don't know, whatever. Something happened and we didn't eat one of the meals that I prepared, we can then eat that there on Thursday night. Okay, and then I just have my grocery list, which even include things like snacks, ice cream, you know, anything that I know that we like to eat on the regular, I have included on these lists. And I kind of explained how that works already. Okay, all right, and speaking of the grocery stores, this is such a fabulous time for me to tell you a little bit more about Thrive Market. Thrive Market is an amazing online membership-based grocery store with an incredible selection of organic groceries, snacks, supplements, eco-friendly cleaning products, non-toxic beauty supplies, personal care items, organic kids products, wine, meat, seafood, frozen veggies, and so much more. As a Thrive Market member, you'll save on every single order of the highest quality, sustainable, and organic products. And if you find a lower price somewhere else, they will match it. Thrive offers two membership options. So one is month to month, and that is $12 a month. And then the second is an annual membership that's $5 a month, and that is billed once per year at $59.95. And y'all, you will make back your $60 membership in savings. And if you don't, Thrive will credit the difference. Also, orders over $49 do ship for free. They ship with carbon neutral shipping from their zero waste warehouses. They are on a mission to be the world's first climate positive grocery store. Thrive makes it so easy for me to shop for my family's dietary needs with their awesome filters. I can add filters for kosher and gluten-free, so I can shop for only foods that my family can eat. It's like having a custom-built grocery store just for me. Let me show you guys what I got on my last Thrive order. I got a variety pack of my favorite potato chips, sea salt and vinegar, regular, and smoky barbecue. My oldest is a coffee drinker and he requested creamer. Speaking of the kids, I restocked on our favorite macaroni and cheese, which is our Tuesday lunch. And for our breakfast for dinner, I picked up a few packages of gluten-free pancake mix. And of course, you've got to have syrup to go with that. Of course, you can't forget snacks, so I got some gluten-free graham crackers and our favorite gluten-free cookies. This is something new I'm trying this time. It's a sourdough sea salt cracker. Special for our snack picnic lunches, I picked up these little individual packages of cookies. I grabbed some marinara sauce for our baked spaghetti. I grabbed some diced tomatoes for the chicken and the chili, and a couple of cans of tomato paste for the chili, and of course, because pantry staple. The last thing I got was some lotion for me because I am all out of lotion here in the kitchen and this mama needs it. So this is my new kitchen lotion. Click the link in the description box or go straight to thrivemarket.com/jar-of-fireflies to get 30% off of your first order and a free gift worth up to $60 when you join Thrive Market today. All right, now let's get to cooking. Okay, so I am starting with the chili because this needs to sit and simmer for a while, so I can just basically get this started and it can simmer while I'm working on everything else. Okay. First step for this is to dice an onion, and then I'm going to saute this here in this pot with a little bit of olive oil. All right, now that that onion is nice and cooked, I'm adding in my other ingredients. In no particular order, I'm adding in some ground beef. Now, I have this ground beef in a jar, but if you have fresh ground beef, you would just cook it here in the same pot. Next, I'm adding in 1 can of tomato sauce, 1 can of diced tomatoes, 1 can of kidney beans, which I did rinse and drain, and 1 can of tomato paste. All right, for flavor, I'm adding in 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, about 2 tablespoons of cumin, and about 2 tablespoons of coriander. All right, now it's just mixing that up, bringing it to a simmer and letting it do its thing. I will be stirring this occasionally throughout this cooking time this afternoon. Okay, so I'm just gonna let that chili simmer for, I don't know, a couple hours or so there on the stove. Let all of those flavors meld and it'll be all awesome. Then I will just take that entire pot and put it into the refrigerator so that when it comes to chili night, I can just pull the pot out of the refrigerator and put it directly on the stove. No extra dishes to do today. Literally the only dirty dish I'll have to clean today from that is the cutting board and the knife that I used to chop the onion. Like, that is it. It's a good thing. Okay, so while that chili is simmering, I can now get to work on everything else. So I think what we will do next is get some water boiling on the stove for the baked spaghetti, because I do need to go ahead and boil the spaghetti noodles for that. And while that is boiling, then we'll get to work on the Santa Fe chicken for the crock pot. Okay, this is not my normal spaghetti boiling pot, but this is what I have right now, so this is what I'm using. The pot I normally use is in the fridge with some soup in it. All right, this little handy thing is what I use to hold up my Ziploc bags when I am filling them with whatever. So this one is adjustable. It stands up and then it clips on the bag to both sides, and it is adjustable for a smaller bag or a larger bag. So today I'm pulling out the tabs there because I am putting a gallon bag on there. I got a little leftover corn already in there. Okay, so I'm adding in a can of corn. Really, it's 2 cans of corn because that leftover corn was almost a whole can. All right, next I'm adding in 2 cans of black beans, 2 cans of diced tomatoes. All right, next I'm adding in 1 package of chicken breast. And lastly, some taco seasoning. I'm not really sure how much. I really like taco seasoning, so about as much as would be in 1 packet of taco seasoning. Okay, now that whole bag is just in the fridge, ready to go in the crock pot here in a couple of days when I am ready to do that crock pot recipe. Okay, so for the Santa Fe chicken, I'll take that whole Ziploc back out of my fridge and I'll pour it into the crock pot with that crock pot liner in there, and I will add 1 box, 4 cups of chicken broth. If I don't have chicken broth, I'll use vegetable broth. It's not that big a deal. And I will have that on low for 7 hours. I think you could do it on high for 4 hours, but I usually just do it on low because I'm home all day. Okay, and then I will make some rice shortly before I serve the meal, and cilantro on top of that, like as a garnish, is also super delicious. If you are a person who can eat cilantro, I know not everybody can. Speaking of fun kitchen gadgets, let me show you this. Okay, y'all know I like to use those crock pot liners. I got a silicone crock pot liner, and the best part, y'all, it can go in the dishwasher. So I now line my crock pot with this when I'm cooking in the crock pot, and then it just stores up nice and tiny, and I don't have to buy any more crock pot liners. I will leave a link to these 2 fun kitchen gadgets down in the description box below. They are definitely things that I use on the regular. They're not like affiliate links or anything like that. It's just me sharing a cool product with you guys. All right, and with that, the water is about to boil, so we'll do that baked spaghetti next. Okay, I'm using this Barilla, whatever it's called, brand of gluten-free spaghetti. And I am using 2 boxes of these spaghetti noodles. That is how much fills up an entire baking tray pan thing that I like to cook this in. And that definitely feeds all of us for a meal, usually with a little bit of leftover. I cook that exactly according to the package directions, and then I drain that out in the sink, and then I move it over to a bowl where I can add in my other ingredients. Okay, I'm adding 2 jars of marinara sauce. You could use whatever kind of sauce you prefer. I just really like marinara, and that's what we use most in this house. But I'm adding in a can of mushrooms because I personally really love mushrooms. And I'm also adding in just a bunch of spinach. I have some spinach in the fridge that I need to use up, and that adds a little extra, protein and greens and all of that to the meal. And then I don't feel obligated to make a side salad to go with this. All right, I'm also going to add in a little bit of mozzarella cheese, really just like a handful. So maybe about a cup, not even probably. The cheese just adds a little bit of extra flavor, helps kind of bind everything together, and who doesn't love a little extra cheese? There is cheese on top, but that's coming. Okay, so for now though, I'm just going to mix all of this together until it's just well mixed, and then I am able to move it into a baking tray. Yes, I am using a foil baking tray for this because, again, ease of everything right now is what we are going for with this whole meal planning thing. All right, after I have smoothed out the top of this and made sure that all the noodles are like inside of the pan so nothing cooks funky, then I am going to add on just a generous layer of cheese right on top of everything. And then I am sprinkling this with some Italian seasoning for a little extra flavor. All right, now I can put the lid on, and then I always label this. I guess because there's like a little spot to label it here on the lid to these trays, and it makes me happy, so I am. Okay, so that baked spaghetti is now in the refrigerator. I did not bake it at all, so what I will do is when it comes the night that we're going to eat that, I'll just put it from the refrigerator into the oven. I'll put it on like 350 for, I don't know, probably like an hour. That way it'll be all warm and fully cooked through. The cheese will be melted. Oh, and I will take the cover off to put it in the oven because otherwise the cheese is just gonna melt to that cover. And that's not as fun. So once that cheese on top is like bubbly and starting to turn brown, that's pretty much when I know that it's ready. All right, so all that is left now is to make a pizza crust. Since I have a child with celiac, I will be making gluten-free pizza crust for that child. And then for the rest of us, we can just eat frozen pizza from the store. So that gives me like one super easy meal at some point this week. And I will go ahead and make 2 pizza crusts, even though I really only need 1 for that dinner. But I can use this second pizza crust either next week or just at some point during the week if we decide to have pizza for lunch or something like that. So it's just another option to have around, which never hurts. Okay, let's make some pizza crust. All right, so for the pizza crust, for the gluten-free pizza crust, I'm using the gluten-free pizza crust mix from Bob's Red Mill. We have tried a lot of different gluten-free pizza crust mixes, and this one has been our favorite. It's super easy to put together. You just put the mix and yeast in a bowl, and then you mix your wet ingredients, which is just 2 eggs, 1.5 cups of water, and some olive oil in a separate bowl, and then just add the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients, mix it up, and then you've got your dough. All right, with that dough mixed and ready, I'm gonna cover that and let that sit for about 20 minutes before I turn it into a pizza crust. Okay, to get my space ready here for the pizza crust, I lay out saran wrap, 2 pieces, so it covers the whole area that I need here on the counter. And then I'll put my pizza crust, half of what I just made, because that makes 2 pizza crusts. So I'll put my pizza crust dough on top of the plastic wrap that I have laid down. And then I add 2 more pieces on top. And that way I can roll out with a rolling pin and it doesn't stick all over everything. This dough is super sticky. It's not like a normal dough, gluten-free. If y'all know, you know. So the plastic wrap has been a total lifesaver for this, for us. So once I've got that into the shape that I want it and about as thick as I would like it, then I take off that top layer of saran wrap, and then I'll put my pizza tray there on top of it upside down. And then kind of using the bottom layer of saran wrap, I can sort of wrap it around the back of the pizza tray and then sort of flip the whole thing over so then the pizza lands on the tray and then I can bake it. All right, folks, and that is it. The pizza crust is done, wrapped up, put in the fridge. I do keep those in the fridge until I am ready to use them. I just feel like that makes them last a little bit longer. So that's it. I've now prepared a bunch of meals for this week. I am ready to go in here very relaxed now to the week and not have to worry about scheduling cooking time for dinner and things like that. I just have to kind of pull things out and throw them in the oven or stove or crock pot, and I am good to go. I hope that this video gave you some fun new meal ideas, or maybe inspired you, helped you figure out a way to make your meal planning a little bit easier from week to week. If you've got some good make ahead meal ideas, drop it down in the comments below and let us know. Because I know I, for one, am always on the lookout for good meal ideas that are easy to make ahead, like the meals that I shared here today. So that is it for this video then. So please give this video a thumbs up, hit that like button if you enjoyed. I would super appreciate it. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you have not yet done so. I would love to see you here again. And don't forget to check out our sponsor, Thrive. I've left you all the information down there in the description box and in my pinned comment below. All right, and with that, we're done. Hope you have a fabulous rest of your day, and I'll see you in my next upload. All right, now I know our snack box lunches, for our snack box and along. Okay, so that baked spaghetti is now in the oven. No, it's not. It is not in the oven. It's in the refrigerator.